Good morning. Okay, it's about 5 to 5, Friday the 19th of June, and we're building up to the longest day this weekend. So I just wanted to share with you this sun salutation. It's a really good beginner's sort of flow to get used to in the morning, really good stretch. Okay, so I'm going to try and work through a few different stages and build up to maybe just seeing where you're at as well. I am not a yoga instructor yet. It's something I'm going to work towards with Tribe at Preston, okay, for my own practice. So I just want to share this video with you just to maybe just see where I'm up to as well, and get more confident speaking on camera, and maybe you can follow at home and maybe take something away from this. I'm going to try and do it in stages building up. Okay, so I'm going to start really easy. Okay, so if you've never done any yoga before or anything like that, I'm going to try and explain it step by step. I have obviously come from a place where I've done more fitness training, weights, smashing it in the gym, and learned over a long period of time that, you know, getting up in the morning, doing my mobility and my stretching, and also concentrating on meditation and more aspects of yoga really does help complement the physical side of all the training I do. So yeah, if you can try and stick with me. If you get to a point where you feel like that's your level and you don't want to progress from there, then that's fine. Just stay at that level and then keep working on that, and then eventually you'll be able to just progress a little bit further on. Okay, so certain things might hold you back, whether it's strength in the arms for some of the holds, it might be flexibility in some of the joints, it might be overall fitness that you can't keep up just yet, and that can be built up over time. You might have excessive weight and things like that getting in the way of getting in some of the positions, and this is all fine. Okay, it's all something that you can work towards. So I really hope you enjoy this little video. If you do, let me know, give me a shout. Comments, likes and shares. I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm filming on 2 cameras. Okay, so we've got a portrait one there for Instagram TV. I've also got landscape there for YouTube because people seem to prefer it that way. So let's get going. Okay, so we're going to start on our mat, nice and centered on the mat. Okay, I've got the cameras facing at a slight angle, so hopefully you can see the sort of position I'm in. I didn't want to be facing directly from the side or directly from the front. Okay, so stand on the mat, hands by the sides. Okay, so taking the shoulders down, imagine you're putting your hands into your pockets. You're going to reach your hands down, so allowing the shoulders to just droop towards the floor. Keep the chin nice and level. Okay, we're looking directly forward, nice soft gaze in the eyes. Okay, we're not staring. Okay, if you can maybe just start closing the eyes. It's a little bit more challenging on the balance. And from there we're just going to do a few breaths just to get really warmed up. Okay, so I want to take you into a nice inhale, and we're going to reach the hands all the way up. So inhale, reach up, not too tall, not too reach back, and bring them down. Exhale. Relax. And again, inhale, hands come up, reach up to sky, and exhale, lower the arms down. And inhale through the nose, and let's have an exhale through the mouth. And inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. So normally we would be exhaling through the nose, in and out through the nose, but we're just exhaling out through the mouth just to get everything nice and relaxed. Okay, once more, inhale through the nose, and exhale, big sigh out, all the way down. Okay, so we've done a few breaths there to get warmed up. Okay, I'm just going to take this hoodie off. It's actually quite warm considering, quite humid. Okay, so we're going to do one flow round now of the sun salutations. Okay, I'm going to take it really slow, step by step. I'm going to add a few little modifications in there till we get just prepped up for the main sort of flow. So if you just stick with me, you might be a little bit jerky on these first few rounds. Okay, that's absolutely fine. We're going to do 3 rounds. Okay, and we're just going to build up to it nice and steady. Okay, so stick with me. So centered in the mat. Hands reach down, shoulders drop to the sides, standing up nice and tall. Okay, don't worry too much about the breath just yet. We're going to get used to that in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on the movements first and get you used to the actual sequence of the movements, and then we're going to maybe progress on a little bit quicker and including the breath as well. Okay, so standing nice and tall, hands down, we're going to reach up to the sky. Gentle little back bend as you take the gaze up towards the sky, so looking between through the hands. And from there, take the hands all the way down to the mat, but we're going to slightly bend the knees. Okay, so bending the knees wherever you need to get the hands or the fingertips down on the mat. Okay, if you can't quite get there yet, that's fine. Just dangle the hands and just relax, but allow these knees to bend nice and soft wherever you need to. If you can have the legs straight and still touch the floor, then that's fine. So if we've got bent legs, we're here. Now wherever you are, you want to straighten your legs and bring your back into a flat position. Okay, so this might feel, or you might not be able to feel how this is. Okay, so we want a nice long spine from hips all the way to the tip of the crown of the head. Okay, so if you can, maybe just place one of your hands on your lower back and one on your chest, and just try and feel that there's not any rounding going on in the back. The shoulders lift up, chest points forward to the front edge of the mat, head's nice and level. Okay, we've not got the chin tucked in, restricting the breath, and we've not got our gaze looking forwards. Okay, so a nice flat back, straight legs. I understand that you might have to be looking somewhere for the video, and that's absolutely fine. Just do what you need to do, look at the video, or maybe just move the video somewhere where you can see it from all angles, okay? You're not straining the neck, looking over somewhere, okay? And from there, we're gonna exhale, fold the knees again, take the hands back down. And from there, we're gonna place the hands just slightly in front, dropping the legs down towards the floor, so onto a kneeling position. From here, we're just going to sit back, widen the knees, gently just push back, okay? Some people might be very restricted in the tops of the feet and the ankles. If you need to tuck the toes under and just hold here, that's fine. If you can, feet flat on the floor and just start pushing back. Heels, bumming towards your heels, taking it back towards the back of the mat. And then gently just take the arms down towards the floor. If you can, take the forehead down towards the mat. And then reach the arms out. Okay, so this is a pose of child. Nice restorative pose. Many people's favourite, especially in a flow session. You'll be able to just grab a little rest here and catch the breath back. Okay, from there we're going to start pushing up. And we're just going to do a few cat-cows just to warm the spine up. Okay, so centered in your mat. Feet just about hands at shoulders width, feet and knees at hip width. Okay, so we're in this nice tabletop position. From there, we're going to take a gentle inhale as we look up to the sky. We're dropping the belly towards the floor, tilting the hips back, and then we're exhaling, pushing round the back up to the sky. So cat pose. And inhale into cow. Looking forwards, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, tilt the hips back, and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Cow pose, chin up, drop the belly. Gazing forwards, or closing the eyes. And exhale. Rounding the upper back. Push nice and strong into these arms. And once more, inhale. And exhale. Rounding. And back to neutral. Okay, from here, we're going to gently take it into tiptoes and hovered knees if you can. Okay, so we're in a tabletop position and we're just hovering. This is just to engage the core, so we're just going to try and engage the core before we move on any further. Okay, so if you need to, you can have one knee down and maybe just one knee hovers. Okay, if you can, take both knees up, just hovering on the tiptoes. If you need to drop, just have a little breather, drop, and then come back up. So about 2 inches, okay, the knees are hovering off the mat. If you can, just visualize you're trying to scoop the hands back towards the knees. They're not going to move anywhere, but just notice that action as you try and squeeze them back. You start engaging the shoulder joint into the core muscles all the way down to the hips and almost all the way to the feet as well. everything's engaged when we squeeze back. And remember to breathe as well, especially when in these holds. It can be quite easy to just be straining and forget to breathe, okay? So gently just allow the breath to come in and out nice and naturally, whatever works for you. And drop the knees. Okay, just put the tops of the feet back on the mat. Just walk the hands out slightly further forward. And then just allow your hips to come down and drop, slowly lowering all the way down, whatever way you want. Okay. From here we're just going to come into a gentle Sphinx pose. So put the feet together at the back of the mat. Hands and elbows at shoulders width. Okay, I've got my elbows underneath my shoulders. From there I'm just going to gently push up into the elbows and allow the chest to come through and lift the head and start gazing up towards the sky. Okay, you don't need to start straining the neck. We're just using this as a gentle little warm-up for a back bend. Okay, so you might want to take the arms a little bit further out. If it feels nice, you can maybe push up into straight arms, walk the hands back a tiny bit, and then place the elbows back down. Just giving yourself a little bit more lift in the shoulders. Try to have the shoulders away from the ears, okay, so we don't want your shoulders and your whole sort of upper body sinking down into these shoulders. We want to push up and lift and create some length in the sort of side of the neck, in the traps as well. So pushing chest up, lift the chin, and again remember to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, and then just gently release all the way down. I'm just going to allow you to have a little rest. So put your hands on the mat, gentle little twist to one side with the head. Tops of your hands are like a little pillow. And we're just going to catch the breath there. So just observe how you feel. Do you feel quite heavy on the floor in a nice way? You know, do you feel like quite comfortable there? Or maybe it's not so comfortable. Okay, so pushing up. So you're back into your tabletop position. Now we're going to work on one of the main postures in yoga, obviously downward facing dog. We're going to build into it slowly. Okay, so you want your hands a little bit further forward than your shoulders. You also want your feet a little bit further back than they were in tabletop, just allowing a little bit more length between your hands. Okay, I'm quite lucky here, I've got a mat that's got some guides on. Maybe it's cheating, I don't know. But it's really, really good for me just to gauge exactly where I need to be. But you can move around. Once you get into it, you can feel that you need a little bit more length. You can move your hands further forward, or obviously you can move your hands back, or maybe move the feet around as well. Okay, so placing the hands down on the mat, tuck the toes under, hover the knees again, and then from there you're going to start pushing the hips back. We're going to keep the legs bent for now, okay? So we need to walk your feet in, and we're bending at the knee, pushing straight arms, so hips are moving backwards and slightly up towards the sky, chest moving back towards the knees. We've got a nice soft bend in the legs. Okay, just getting these arms nice and straight first. If you can, imagine that your inside of your elbows are rotating out to the front of the mat. Okay, so we're not here with bent arms. We're trying to really build some strength in the arms and externally rotate the elbows through, and then start pushing back. In time, heels are going to work their way down towards the floor, so we can start straightening out the legs. Maybe just take it one heel at a time. Nice little stretch on the calves. Just getting everything warmed up in the feet, the ankles, back of the knees. Nice little stretch there as well. Okay, the width of the feet should be around hip width or slightly over, but wherever feels nice for you. Either way, try and have the outside of your foot in line with the edge of the mat. Okay, so if it was here, I've got the outside of the foot pretty much in line with the edge of the mat. I've not got it twisted in. You want to keep that knee joint nice and square. Okay, so it might feel like your toes are pointing in slightly. We don't want them that much, just a little bit. And then from there you're going to start pushing back even stronger, lifting the hips a little bit higher. And we can allow the knees to be bent if we need to. If you're used to this position, you might feel quite okay here. If you're not, then it might feel horrible. You might feel like you're holding the world up with your hands. And then from there we're just going to take a gentle walk in. So bending the knees as much as you need to, coming up onto the tips of the hands wherever you need to get back in this position. So we're in a forward fold here. We've got slight bent knees. If you can, fingertips are on the mat. And then from there, we're going to take hands slightly back, and the hands are going to reach all the way up to the sky. Standing up nice and tall, looking up towards the fingertips, gentle little back bend, all the way up and back. And then bring the hands down, thumbs into chest. And inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Now sigh out as you release hands. Okay, so that was very, very slow. That was one round, okay, of the sun salutations. Okay, maybe I should be facing that way for the sun, even when it comes up through the clouds, but I'm doing it this way just so you can see. Okay, we're going to go for round 2. I'm going to go a little bit quicker. I'm not going to explain as much on this one, so I just want you to get used to the movements and just feel things a little bit better. I'm still going to do a few modifications just with some bent knees and things, just to make sure that everyone's following and just building up the flexibility slowly as well. I don't want anyone to hurt themselves rushing on too far. Okay, so we're going to stand again in the centre of the mat. We're going to reach all the way up to the sky, gentle little back bend. We're going to take the hands all the way down towards the floor, slight bend in the knees, wherever you need to. If you really need to bend the knees, that's fine. Okay, allow them to bend. And then from there, we're going to slide up to a flat back. Okay, so wherever your hands are, wherever they need to be, to get a nice long spine from the hips all the way through to the crown of the head, that's fine. If your arms are up here, if you need to be here with a flat spine, that's fine. Over time, you're going to be able to have straight legs and a nice flat back as you sink all the way down. Notice we've got straight legs. They're not fully locked out, hyperextending. Okay, we don't really want to do that. We want to have a slight bend. Okay, not straining at the back of the knees. But if you need to, bend the knees a little bit more. And then release and fold all the way down. Again, you can still keep the knees bent. If you can gently start straightening them, but again, don't overextend. Okay, we don't want to lock them out and start doing damage to the back of the knees. Okay, so you guys know where you're at better than me. Obviously I can't see you, but I also can't, if I was there I still couldn't feel how it felt for you. I could maybe see a little bit better, but you know in your own head where your limits are. So with all these stretches and different postures, you know, for progress, yes, you do want to get in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, but it doesn't want to be excruciatingly painful. Okay, so that's usually your body telling you something, that there's a restriction. Okay, so you just need to back off and just play the long game and just really try and build it up in baby steps, and over time it will come. Okay, the last thing you want to do is start trying to lock out the legs or go into a deep back bend where you're not used to and doing some damage and then being held back, or you know, not continuing with yoga or whatever sort of training method you go in down. You don't want to rush along too soon and do some damage. Okay, and then we're going to take it down onto the knees, flat on the feet, widen the knees a little bit more this time. We're just going to gently push back, seat to heels, take the hands out all the way on the mat,